congedo di Gesù,
As Jesus is saying farewell to his disciples,
gli dà
he gives them
tranquillità, gli dà pace,
tranquility and
una
peace
promessa.
with a promise.
Non vi lascerò orfani.
I will not leave you orphans.
Li difende di quel dolore, di quel senso doloroso
He's referring to
di
that
orfanezza.
pain of being an orphan
Oggi
today
nel mondo
in the world.
c'è un grande sentimento di
There's
orfanezza.
a great sense of being orphans.
Tanti hanno tante cose, ma
Many
manca
people
il
have
padre.
many things, but they are missing or lacking
Nella
the
storia
Father. And
dell'umanità
in the
questo
history of humanity,
si ripete.
this has repeated itself.
Quando manca il padre, manca
When the
qualcosa.
Father is missing, something is lacking.
Sempre c'è
And there's
la voglia
always
di incontrare,
the desire
ritrovare il
to
padre.
find
Anche
Him,
nei miti antichi,
to find the Father. Even in the ancient myths,
ai miti
we can think about
di Edipo,
the
di
myths,
Telemaco, tanti altri.
and he mentioned two, I didn't get them, and there's many others.
Cercare il padre
But it's always about, I think he said Antigone, they're always
oggi
trying to
possiamo
find the
dire che
Father who's missing.
viviamo in una società
And
dove
today we also live in a society that is lacking the Father.
senso di orfanezza
A sense of being orphans
tocca proprio la
that
appartenenza,
specifically
la fraternità.
touches
Per
a sense
questo
of belonging and fraternity. And so
promette,
Jesus promises,
io pregherò il Padre e
I will ask the Father and He will give you another counselor. He says, I'm going away, but I will send another one who will teach you
l'accesso al Padre.
the way to the Father.
Vi ricorderà
He will remind
l'accesso
you
al Padre.
how to access the
Spirito
Father.
Santo
The Holy Spirit
non viene per farsi i suoi clienti,
The Holy Spirit does not come to make us His clients.
viene
He
per
comes
segnalare l'accesso
to
al Padre,
to show us the way to the Father,
ricordare
to remind
l'accesso
us
al Padre,
how to access the
quello che
Father,
Gesù ha aperto,
which is what
quello che
Jesus opened
Gesù
to
ha
us,
fatto vedere.
which is Jesus allowed us to see.
Non esiste una spiritualità
A
del
spirituality
Figlio solo,
of
dello Spirito Santo solo.
the Son or the Holy Spirit only.
Solo il Padre.
The Father
Il
enters
Figlio è
in.
inviato dal
The
Padre,
Son is sent by
ritorna
the
dal
Father and
Padre.
returns to the Father.
Lo Spirito Santo
The Holy
è inviato
Spirit
dal Padre
is sent by the
per
Father
ricordare
in
e
order to
insegnare
remind us and to
l'accesso
teach
al
us
Padre.
how to access the Father.
Soltanto con questa coscienza
It
di
is
figli
only with this awareness of
che non
being
sono
children,
orfani
that we're not
si può
orphans,
vivere
that one can live
in pace fra
in
noi.
peace among us.
Le guerre sempre, siano le piccole guerre
The
o
wars,
le grandi guerre,
either the
sempre
small ones or the big ones,
hanno
always
una dimensione
have
di
a
orfanaggio.
dimension of
Manca il Padre.
being orphans, that the Father is lacking who makes
Per questo
peace.
quando
And
Pietro
so
e la prima comunità
when Peter in the
dice
first
che
community
rispondano alla
says
gente
to
perché
them,
sono cristiani, dice tuttavia
always be prepared to make a defense to anyone who calls you to account for the hope that is in you, yet do it with gentleness
con
and
una retta
reverence,
coscienza,
and keep your conscience clear.
cioè
That
la
is,
mitezza
the gentleness or
che dà lo
meekness
Spirito
that the
Santo.
Holy Spirit gives.
Lo Spirito Santo ci
The
insegna
Holy
questa
Spirit
mitezza,
teaches us this
questa
gentleness,
dolcezza
this meekness
dei figli del Padre.
of children of God.
Non ci insegna a insultare lo Spirito Santo.
He doesn't teach us
È una delle conseguenze
how to
del
be
senso di orfanezza.
soldiers. This is something that comes from
Perché se non c'è
being
padre,
feeling
non
like
siamo fratelli.
orphans, wars.
Si
Because
perde la
if the Father
fratellanza.
isn't there, we're not brothers. We lose fraternity. It is only this tenderness, this respect, this reverence. These are attitudes of someone who belongs, of belonging to a family, who is certain that there is a father, that they have a father. I will pray to the Father, and he will send you another counselor who will remind you how to access the Father. He will remind you that we have a Father who is the center of everything. It's the unity of everything, the salvation of everyone, because he sent his Son in order to save everyone. And now I will send you the Holy Spirit in order to remind us of the way to the Father, how to access the Father, this paternity, this fraternal behavior or attitude of gentleness or meekness, of peace. Let us pray to the Holy Spirit that he might always remind us, always, about this access to the Father, that he might remind us that we have a Father, and teach us this civility that has a great sense of being orphans, that we might have the grace of refine the Father who gives meaning to all of life, and who and that he might grant us the gift of that all men be one family. And we now move into we'll say the creed first.